Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach in Tanasri Rag saying to us, Bandanaa Har Bandanaa, Gun Gavaho Gopal Rai. Bandana is when we bow down to the Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach is saying, what is that true bowing? They're teaching us what that true bowing is here. The Guru Arjan Dev Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੰਧਨਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵੋ ਗੋਪਾਲ ਰਾਏ. ਰਾਏ means king, go means ਧਰਤੀ, ਪਾਲ means ਪਾਲਣ ਵਾਲਾ. The Akal Purkh that sustains its own creation. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach is saying that Bandanaa Har Bandanaa. How do you actually bow down to the Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵੋ, by praising that Vaheguru Ji. That's how you bow down to Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. Gun Gavaho Gopal Rai, that constantly sing the praises of that King Vaheguru Ji that has created this complete and entire earth, that is looking after us all the time, even though we might not be able to see. Kot Brahmand ko Thakur Swami Sarv Jiya ka Data Re, Pratpale Nitsar Samale, Ek Gun Nahi Murkh Jata Re. Pratpale Nitsar Samale. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji again are saying Pratpale. Pratpalana means when somebody is taking care of us. Pratpale Nitsar Samale. When does the Akal Purkh, when does Guru Sahib Ji, when is Guru Sahib Ji taking care of us? At all times. At all times. We may not be able to see it. Pekhat, sunat, sada hai sange. Main murkh jaaniya duri rahe. It was this fool that thought Vaheguru Ji was far. It was this fool that thought that Vaheguru Ji isn't taking care of me at this moment. But Pekhat, Vaheguru Ji is watching everything. Sunat, Vaheguru Ji is listening to everything, even what's within our mind. Pekhat, Sunat, sada hai sange. Akal Purkh Ji, Vaheguru Ji is constantly beside us. Raho. But now, through this camp, hopefully, we can start to feel the presence of Vaheguru Ji more so. We can start being conscious about Akal Purkh Ji every moment of our lives. Raho, that's the Raho di Pangti. And then Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach is saying, Vadde Bhag, only when somebody's of great fortune, only if somebody's truly blessed, they say, then what happens? Pete Gurdeva. They get to meet a Guru like Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. They get to meet Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. Pete means to meet. And we're also lucky that we've had the opportunity to meet Guru Sahib Ji. Throughout these days that we've been in this camp, we've got to do darshana of Guru Granth Sahib Ji in many forms. In Partak, in Sargun Sroop, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji, we've been getting to do darshan of. We've been getting to do darshan of Guru Sahib Ji through Bani. And we've been getting to do darshan of Guru Sahib Ji through the Sangat. And I feel, and I'm not being biased here, but I really feel that this is probably one of the best camps I've been to. नहीं इतना नहीं कि basicsofsikhi ਦਾ ਆ पर ਵਧੀਆ ਸੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ अच्छा. And truly can feel the warmth of Guru Sahib Ji in the Sangat. It's not very often you get to see the Sangat open their hearts out as much as we've seen in this camp. And that energy and that warmth was absolutely immense. And it's the Sangat that creates that. Sadhguru Ji Paach is saying that we've had the opportunity now to meet with Sangat, to meet with Guru Sahib Ji, to meet with the Bani, and Kot Parad Mite Har Seva. Then Guru Sahib Ji saying that Karoda hi, that millions of sins that we've accumulated and the filth that we've accumulated from the sins that we've been doing for many, many janams. Janam janam ki isman ko mal lagi kala hua se ho. So we've been traveling for many, many janams. Sometimes we can't understand somebody. There was somebody, a very, very good psychiatrist in America, and never had he failed at his work. And he then went on to write a book called The Art of Happiness alongside the Dalai Lama. It's a great book, and I recommend for the Sangat to read it. And why did he decide to meet the Dalai Lama, even though he didn't have any faith in God, he didn't believe in reincarnation? Because he had one patient once where he just could not diagnose why she was suicidal. He said, I can't believe that my whole education, everything has failed me today. He says, I've been through thousands and thousands of people that I've spoke to, but I've always been able to diagnose and pinpoint where their issue has come from. And he goes, I don't understand why with her. And that was one of the reasons he decided maybe to understand the art of happiness, I need the guidance of somebody that is spiritual too. And when he went to the Dalai Lama and he said, so what's the deal with this? He goes, there's one case, and he goes, I failed. He goes, I just don't know why she's that way inclined and why her mind is that way. And as he is in Dalai Lama, he starts to laugh. And normally when there's something really serious and he just sits there and he starts laughing. And he's like, no, this is really serious. And he goes, I wasn't able to diagnose. He goes, why? He goes, I went all the way back to her birth and everything. Dalai Lama said, well, you didn't go back far enough, did you? He goes, what about her previous lives? He goes, she's carrying things from there. Kar karna, lek le jaho. Ape bij ape hi kaho. We've been traveling for many, many janams. We're carrying so much with us, and we've brought that here as well. And he said, you know what? Because I have to agree today. Because today I agree there's reincarnation. He goes, because never have I failed at my work before. Guru Sahib Ji saying, Kot Prad, and you know those millions of sins that we've done in the past. Guru Sahib Ji saying, meeting Satguru Ji in the Sangat like this, Mite Har Seva, those can be destroyed. They'll vanish and they'll go. They can go right this moment. Right this moment, they can be gone. How? The moment we walk forward, Pichle Augan Bakshale, Prab Age, Marg Pave. All we have to do now is walk forward. People don't understand. This says, I don't understand. How is it? Does Guru Sahib Ji just wave a wand and then that's it? Everything's gone. All our sins are gone. No, Guru Sikh Pyaro. The moment that we take a positive step forward, from that moment, all of that we have done in the past is gone, because now we're creating a new life for ourselves. If we continue in that path, we've got to break out of that karma system and rise above that. When we start following what Guru Sahib Ji is saying, we're rising above and we're breaking through that and all of those millions of sins. Today, right this moment you decide to take a step forward, those millions of sins are starting to be erased. Charan Kamala Jaka Man Rape. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji saying here that their own mind is completely imbued in those beautiful Charan Kamala in the lotus feet of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. And that's how I'm feeling right now, that the Sangat has got that sense of feeling of being imbued from inside for Guru Granth Sahib Ji Pacha and Sangat. And you're wanting that to continue and never finish. And that can happen. It never has to finish. You keep begging Maharaj for Sangat. And we were saying, again, we were speaking in the India camp, like we come to camps and we get such a buzz when we sit down and we sing together Asadivar. And I'm truly saying this. Every time I get to do Asadivar, whether I'm in a bedroom, at home, on my own, or in the Sangat, the blast is the same. Because Guru Nanak's Bani is absolutely mind-blowing. He can give us that smagam feeling sitting in a bedroom on our own as well. It's just we have to take that step. Sog agan tis janana beape. All the sorrows that we've come here with, the Guru Sahib Ji saying, Sog agan, this sorrow of fire that was burning us from inside, from certain things that we've experienced in our life that have caused us sorrow. The Guru Sahib Ji saying, from today, going away from here, tis janana beape, you become the servant of Guru Sahib Ji. They won't come anywhere near you. That sorrow will be gone out of your life. All you have to do is become a servant of Satguru Ji Sache Pacha. Becoming a servant just means becoming a Sikh. And what does it mean to become a Sikh? Jo Guru kahe. So whatever my Guru is asking from me, I take that to be good and I follow that the best I can. Sagar Tarya Sadhu Sange. And then Guru Sahib Ji here saying that this is another part of the jigsaw. This is another part. This is another tool that you need otherwise you will fall. You can read Bani at home in your bedroom, you can do all of that. But Guru Sahib is saying, if you truly want to get across, then Sagar Taraya Sadhu Sange. It's when you do Sangat of Sadhus. A sadhu is that person, that being. When Bhai Gurdas Ji say, no darwaje sad, sad sadaya, those that have controlled the 9 gates of their body, those that have overcome the lust of their eyes, those that have overcome the pleasure of listening to Nindya, that is way above all of this, that janam maran do ho mein nahi jan par upakari aaye, those gurmukhs that are only on this earth because they have so much pain inside of them to take away our pain. That's their only pain. Their pain is that we're in pain and they want to take away our pain. When you're amongst those gurmukhs, then we'll start to get across this ocean. This terrifying ocean that is full of maya, that is full of when we get attached to certain things in this world. But being around sadhus, we'll get that feeling and they'll take us across as well. Then Pachizad Nirpao Naam Japo Ho Har Range, to go constantly recite the name with love from your heart. Don't ever let it be empty. Bhai Veer Singh Ji always used to say, Bhai Veer Singh used to say, Us Akal Purkh nu Hajar samjh ke uda naam japya karo. Feel that Vaheguru Ji to be present and then call out to Vaheguru. And he'd even give us little jugatiyan. And Bhai Sahib used to say, a parvar came to Bhai Veer Singh, ta kahan lage kende Bhai Sahib, kende you said to us that say Vaheguru, Vaheguru and will be fulfilled. They said, we still feel empty. That nirpao naam japo har range, how do you recite his name with love from inside? And Bhai Veer Singh said, no. The name of God cannot fail you. Tell me what you've been doing. And Bhai Veer Singh Ji said, let me tell you how I do it and then you tell me. Bhai Veer Singh Ji said, first when you start on this path, he said, I'd close my eyes. And he goes, and I'd imagine a beautiful mansion. He goes, this beautiful white mansion, he goes, I'd imagine closing my eyes. He goes, and then there's a beautiful, huge door to this mansion. He goes, for me, that mansion is the house of God. He goes, I'd look straight, direct towards the house of God. He goes, and I'd beg him to open the door to show me a glimpse. He goes, I'd cry from inside, Kabir keso, kukiye, na soye. Raat divas ke kukade kabhu ke sune pukar. Bhai Veer Singh said, I cried and I called. I asked him to open that door day and night from inside. He goes, and then every so often he'd take pity on me and he'd open that door. And he said, I'll get a glimpse of him. He goes, because I'd be facing him at all the time and I'd have my choli out, he'd fill me with so much. He said, you wasn't looking at the door. He goes, you're standing there and you're saying Vaheguru, but you're looking the other way. You're not even waiting to see if he opens the door for you. He's saying you've got to feel that presence and call and cry out for Vaheguru Ji to open that door for you. And one day, such a day will come when Nadiya Ateva Pavahe Samund Na Janiye Hai, when you'll actually walk into the house and you'll never return again because there'll be no one to come back. Nadiya Teva Pavahe Samund Na Janiye. When you go into that ocean, Na Janiye, nobody's going to know you anymore because there will be no you left after that. That's what it means to go into the house of God. Nirpao naam japo har range, partan dok kich paap na fere. When you start living in that state and consciously calling out to Vaheguru Ji, and then Sadhguru Ji Pacha Ji said that the pain of partan, of wanting the wealth of others, kich paap na fere, the sins, no sins will then come near you. Jam jandar na ave nere. There's no messengers of death that can come close to us then. Remember what we said the other day. It's the Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Munkar. When we're stuck in attachment, it's those that turn against us. It's when we're resisting, when we have so much fear to leave this attachment that we have, that's what becomes the jam. That is what pulls us away and drags us away. But when we're completely liberated and we have no fear, then there are no jams for us. We just go straight into the laps of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. Trishna Agan Prabh Aap Bujai. Satguru Ji will take pity on us, that Trishna, those burning desires that are inside of us. Guru Sahib Ji, they will themselves take that burning fire away from us and give us the true Trishna, give us the true desire that Kanki eke dars toharo nanak unsang mohe utaro. Kanki, give me that one desire. Let me only have one desire, and that is to have your darshan, O Akal Purkh, O Satguru Ji Sache Padshah. Nanak udre Prabh Sharanai, and Satguru Ji Padshah Ji saying, Kende Nanak udre Prabh Sharanai, and that's how I was saved when I came into the sanctuary of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. I remember what I said, coming into the sanctuary of Vaheguru Ji is keeping your wrath. That's what it means to remain in the sanctuary. That's our safety barrier. That's how we safeguard ourselves. The Naam is the medicine, but the precautions is the wrath. And we need both hand in hand for them to work. So, Satguru Ji Sache Padshah Ji Kripa Karan. Amazing Hukamnaama, Satguru Ji Sache Padshah Ji blessed. Not only for the camp, but this Hukamnaama was blessed for the Chardi Kala of Baljit Singh Ji, because the Vidyalaya students, from the day it was announced that Veer Ji has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, the Vidyalaya students started a Saj Path, and there was another group as well. There was a few others. We've started another Saj Path, but we didn't quite get there. So we're still about 200 arms behind, and they beat us to it. So that was the Saj Path Bhog today. And I just wanted to introduce everyone as well. What I don't want to fall into today is because the Hukamnaama this morning that came in the Darbar Sahib, Guru Sahib Ji said to us very strongly that restrain from praising people. And Maharaj is saying, praise that true one that is always going to remain. But what I will do is not praise, but I will introduce you to some of the Sangat that is working with us and doing, Guru Sahib Ji is getting them to do some immense work. And so we've got by Amardeep Singh in the White Chola that's been doing the Ardas, and that's our Vidyalaya Ustad, Vidyalaya teacher. So I know we've not got long left, but Veer Ji Maharaj has blessed him with immense gyan. So if you want to ask him any questions as well after, please pounce on him and ask him a few questions, and it will give us a rest as well. And for me, this is the state of Bhai Jagraj Singh as well, Bandanaa Har Bandanaa. Gurundav Gopal Rai. In my time since I've spent with him, there's many times I love a bit of a pump, I'll be honest. We end up making that into our appetite. But Jagraj Singh, I've never seen that in him. For me, I've truly seen that in him, Bandanaa Har Bandanaa. When one thing he would always say to me, Kaho Nanak sab teri vadiyai, koi no na jane mera. He'd say, Veer Ji, I really don't want anybody to know my name. He goes, because it's really not about me. And then, for the first few years, I remember there was a time for the charity, I used to do the bookings, and people would email in and they'd say, we want that Singh to come and do Katha for us. Because he's always promote the name Basics of Sikhi. He'd never put his name onto anything. And Sangat, even after a couple of years, still didn't know his name. And he'd laugh, he'd go, koi na jane mera, and he'd just start singing it. And then eventually, people started to get to know his name a little bit. But even then, he'd get really happy, because they'd always get his name wrong. And it would be like Jugaraj Singh, Jujar Singh, or something like with a U, and he'd say, see, they still don't know my name. And it's not very often you get to meet human beings like that. We often get to hear about people not wanting to, get rid of their name and find that sense of humility. And but I really do see that in Veer Ji, and he's a great inspiration for me as well. And like I said, we've got this amazing relationship, and where I have that opportunity to play the older brother as well sometimes, and he'll give me a call. And it's amazing, but at the same time, I get to play the older brother, give him some advice sometimes, but I'm so scared of him at the same time. Every time he'd sit down and train me on something, I'd just sit there so scared, and he'd be looking at me saying, do you get it? And I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Yeah. and I've not got it. and I'm thinking, how do I tell him? Yeah. And then I'd phone one of the other Singhs, and I'd phone Gobind Singh, because Gobind Singh was one of the first Sevadars, who was Jagraj Singh's right-hand man, and I'd phone Gobind Singh, I'd say, Viji, I didn't get it. You know, you need to come and help me. Yeah, when he was teaching me editing. So there's always this amazing relationship. And so I feel that Bandanaa Har Bandanaa, that he really is, like, he's just constantly bowing down to Akal Purkh Sache Badshah. And it's amazing to meet Guru Sikhs like that. So, Asisa, tusi har samay Asisa sanu bakshaniya. Please keep blessing us. I always say, when the Sangat praise us that you're doing an amazing job, I always say, strength comes from Satguru Ji, from Tan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and the love comes from the Sangat. When the Sangat showers us with so much love, it boosts us so much. Sometimes this body is physically ill, but when we sit together in the Darbar Sahib, when I do Katha, I don't even know that I've got a body because of the love of the Sangat. When we sit down and do Kirtan together, you forget all your pains, everything just vanishes in that instant, in that moment, and I'm sure everybody gets to experience that as well. So it's a fateh for myself now. So Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.